What's up? Welcome back. Mike on the mics. What's going on, man?
What's up, Michael Joseph Leonard? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Happy to be back. We took a week off. That's okay.
Yep.
We needed a bye week just like the rest of the NFL again.
Yeah, we needed to de-thaw out here. It was a little chilly, and you had to take a little surprise trip to Florida.
Yes, yeah. I had to skip out of this negative degree weather.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. How was your Florida trip?
It was fun. It was a lot of time. Went to St. Augustine. Had a good time. Highly recommend it. If you haven't been there, It was good times.
Good.
Yeah. Beach was really cold, so I had no beach days, but had a pool at the house, heated pool. Downtown St. Augustine was fun, so it was good to get away. And you get to skip out on reality for a few days.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'll drink to that.
Yeah. How's your week's been?
Been pretty good. Just been busy with stuff around the house with the kids, basketball, work. You name it.
Miles was close to winning the championship.
Yes. Yeah, that was a tough one this past Sunday. They got within 4 points of winning the championship. They lost by 4, and really good game, really fun game to watch. Miles played really well, but it was just it was gut-wrenching a little bit. But, like a lot of you guys said, like you got to experience these moments because it only kind of drives home that you need to keep working, and
it's going to make the win when he gets it that much sweeter.
For sure. And he led the league. He led the league in points per game. So that was really cool. So he learned a lot, but it was good. It was a good overall experience for him.
Good for him.
Yeah, for sure. So.
We got a good show today. We actually are going to get into some baseball talk.
Oh, thank God. That means warm weather is kind of around the corner, right?
Yeah, I saw this meme. It was January 31st. It said, today is the last day of January. Starting tomorrow, there's baseball for the next 9 months straight. Oh. And I was like, yes, I love that.
Oh, thank God.
Maybe not every day, but it's for the next 9 months. There is baseball every day.
I'm ready to hear Dickerson's voice on the radio. And the windows open. You hear the crack of the bat.
Pitchers and catchers report next Wednesday.
Yep.
I think the following Monday or that weekend, the rest of the team shows up. I think a lot of them are already down there already.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're already ready to go.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, this is a fun year as a Tigers fan because I think last year we were somewhat hopeful that they were going to challenge for the Central, but I feel like this year it's cemented more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like last year started off shitty, and then they came on strong. They had that magical run, and then now you kind of feel like, okay, no, we know the Tigers have arrived. They're here.
Oh, yeah.
They're here. They really made some noise, and this year we should truly be excited. Like I think last year was maybe a little bit of fool's gold because we still didn't know what a lot of these guys were going to do, these young guys.
Exactly.
But, now we have cemented hope, and that's always exciting.
Well, they definitely set the expectations extremely high for themselves to be making the playoffs. Because I feel like we're at the point with this year, it's if they don't make the playoffs, it's a failure of the season.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. If not challenged for the Central, I mean they're.
Oh yeah, and I got some things to say about that because I think. Well, let's just get into it. Nobody else is making moves in the Central.
No.
Nobody.
No, there's been a lot of crickets.
The Indians, Guardians, Twins, White Sox, Royals, they're not doing anything. They're not making any moves. They're not signing anybody.
And if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
that's the way it goes.
If you're not going to get better, you're getting worse. And I think the Tigers did make some strides this year. I think we would kind of hope for a little bit more, but yeah, at least they've done some things.
And they're spending money. That's what I like, that they're spending money because if you go back the last 10 or 12 years, all the World Series champions are within top 10 payroll.
Yep.
Right? It's just the way the sport is. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, you got to spend a little bit. You definitely got to spend.
You got to spend. So it's nice that they're finally spending. So.
I think they're now at the top of the AL Central, right? As far as payroll for 2025, projected.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're still within.
I don't think they're in the top 10, but they're somewhere in the middle, maybe 17. I think where they're at. But who knows? We still got time left. Spend some more money.
Yeah. Yeah, the Flaherty signing, I think, is a very underrated signing just from the whole – when you look at the whole thing of it, because they let him go last year and they received 2 prospects, one of them being who ended up being your starting shortstop that helped you kind of make that run.
Oh, yeah, Trey Sweeney.
Yeah, and then they got that catcher out of the deal who's actually turning into be a top 100 prospect. And then they get Flaherty back. on a 2-year deal.
Dude, this couldn't have worked out any better. And he wanted to be here.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Where you do that.
I'm going to trade you. I'm going to get your top prospects.
And then I'm going to get you back.
And you get to go win a World Series.
Go ahead. You
go win a World Series.
Both sides made.
And then you can come back here and help us win a World Series.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or get on track too. No, that was a huge signing. I was extremely happy about that.
For sure.
There's a few things that go with that, from my opinion. One, I'm personally happy that he's back.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy. He wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Which I think that just makes it even better for any type of player, that if you want to go to that team, you're not just chasing money.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, he got a nice contract, but he said even when he left last year, he goes, I'd love to go back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Right?
He didn't want to leave. He was pretty vocal about not really wanting to leave, but
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's back. Him and Scoob, a 1-2 punch. Yeah. This is going to be huge.
Oh, especially if this is a playoff team and you get into the playoffs and you got because the first round is, unless you win your division, first round is a wild card round. What is that? That's a best out of 3.
Best of 3.
So you just got to win 2 games.
Yeah.
And you got those 2 guys.
So boom,
back to back. Okay,
1-2.
Okay.
There you go.
And even a best of 5 series, I like our chances.
Okay, so you're getting 2 wins right off the get from that.
I'm good with that. So yeah, it really sets yourself up nicely. And then not to mention our bullpen is stacked up pretty good too. So,
and what I like, and you get Reese Olson back, right? He was injured near the end, right? Job's going to get his chance.
Yeah,
right.
I'm excited for Job.
What I like mostly about this signing and bringing him back, and obviously Job still has to learn. Like, he's still got a learning curve, right? Who's the other starter they're projecting?
It depends. I mean, you see Casey Mize. I know Montero was a starter a little bit last year, but
okay, so they're going to probably rotate. Oh, Manning.
Yeah, Manning is still kind of floated around. I know he was in AAA of all last year, and he made some spot starts here and there.
But what I like about this is it's eliminating, for the most part, the pitching chaos, except for maybe one of those 2 spots. Maybe the number 5 position, number 5 day, you go to pitching chaos. Because as much as it worked out for us and it was exciting last year, that is not long term.
No.
I think that kills a team. And as long as you try to do that all season long, I'm not a fan of it. So I'm glad that it's not Scooble and then 4 days straight of pitching chaos.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking 3-4 days of starting pitchers, right? Then pitching, 1 day of chaos, and then we'll go right back to the beginning. So I think that's going to make a huge difference for this team, and it'll save some of those arms in the bullpen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just opening day starting, let's just say if they go with a 5-man rotation, which I think at times they sprinkle guys in here or there and stretch it out to 6. But I mean, you're looking at Scooble, Flaherty, Olson, Mize, and Job. I'm good with that. I'm very good with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and then maybe Manning or somebody
and you
else
might say, I don't think, because they're really going to control Job
or Cobb. Alex, we're forgetting.
Oh yeah, and that's the other guy I was saying. Yeah, we're saying it. So
Alex Cobb.
Okay, so it's going to go Scoob, Flaherty, Cobb,
yep,
Olson, and then Joe will be the number 5 starter, but I don't think he's going to be every 5th day.
Right.
He's going to be your number 5, but it's going to be Job's going to come in and pitch. Maybe his next start is chaos. Then Job again. Maybe you bring up Manning here and there, right? You kind of sprinkle in because they're going to watch his innings. They're going to limit his innings. They're not going to let him just
for sure
go. He's already got probably a pitch count on him that they already set for the year.
Yep. Yeah, the key for him with Job is just, I mean, I anticipate him to make the opening day roster, but it just solidify that 5th spot and come in and work. And the pressure's not going to be on. Like, you know what I mean? There's no high profile games just yet. So just
I think
get your innings in.
Right now, a successful season for Job would be to be with us all year long.
Yeah.
Not get sent down, which wouldn't be a horrible thing.
No,
right?
No.
Because it happens to these young guys. But I think if he can come up and spend the whole year on the team, whether or not he's pitching every 5th day or every 7th day or every 10th day, I think that's good for him to stay with the team the whole time, where he's not frustrated on the mound, he's not pitching, and they're like, all right, we got to send you back down for a couple weeks.
And you know what? And I would even say, like, if he does get sent down, I don't even know if it's that big a deal, because his stuff is good enough. If he's getting sent down, it's because it's a mental thing, and that can be worked out.
Exactly.
His stuff is plenty good. I mean, he's
and he already got a taste of big games because he came up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
he got it. I honestly still cannot believe
threw him right to the wolves.
They gave him that spot.
Right at it.
Yeah.
At it.
No, but no, you're right. That is a good. And he's gonna get those get that experience. That's key.
So and that's we went off on this little topic all because we signed one pitcher. Flaherty. I mean, Cobb too, but the Cobb, I was like, okay, but he's old. And I mean, he still has it in him. I didn't think that
one was a little bit.
I wasn't
scratching your head. I was like,
okay,
I get it. Maybe some depth, I guess, but he's been injury prone. He's had some good years,
but the last couple of years we've brought these guys in. Flaherty last year, Lorenzen the year before, who weren't doing well before, came back. Revive their career, trade them away. I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what's going to happen with Cobb here.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's fine. And if not, hopefully he just stays and has a good season. But I think getting Flaherty really opens up or helps our pitching and our bullpen down the line. And that's just one guy. So
no, it's good. They needed another starter. They really did, and they got a really good one. And it's just funny how that all worked out, but it worked out really well for the Tigers. You got to give Scott Harris credit for that, for getting that done. Basically keeping a guy or getting a guy back, but also too in the process you got a couple top prospects in the mix. I'm not saying Sweeney's going to be like your all-star shortstop, but he's going to be your backup shortstop who can fill in and play good defense and maybe get you some timely hits. And then the kid, the Thyron Lorenzo kid, I mean, he's turning into like a top 100 prospect. He's smashing the hell out of the ball in the minors. So you're getting something for him. And then, actually, did you hear that the Tigers actually traded Alex Faedo as well?
Yes.
Yeah. I was surprised by that because I thought he pitched pretty well. And
we traded him to the Rays. That means he's an all-star. It happens to all of our players.
Yeah.
We trade with the Rays. I would say we traded with the Rays more often than any other team.
Yeah.
And those guys always become great players.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rays have a
Isaac
tendency to do that, man. Yeah.
Right. He happened. He's an all-star.
You know where he's at now?
Well, he was in San Diego last year.
He's on the Stros now. He's on the Astros.
Now he went to the Stros. Okay, so he's going to bounce around, but he's a good player.
Yeah, he turned into a really good player. That's kind of bummer that how that all worked out.
And then I can't think of his name right now. We traded a pitcher to the Rays within, I don't know, last few years, 5 years. Was okay with us. Boom. Took off right in Tampa Bay. I can't remember. I'd have to look him up.
Yeah,
but
no, I know. I think.
Yeah, as soon as they said traded to the Rays, it was like, oh, Faedo's going to be an all-star now.
Was it Dean Wilson? No, I can't remember his name. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to try. Okay,
but
yeah.
And then the other thing, we're on Bregman watch. This guy. I mean, there's some news that came out today. I want him, but this guy wants 7 years now, 6 to 7 years, bro. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Come on. I want you. I still want you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's down to us and the Cubs. Actually, I'm gonna
give us a.
I'm gonna do my Detroit Tiger Bregman watch. I've been checking the news.
I've been
checking every couple hours.
Yeah, same here.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, the last I read too, some insider for the Cubs, Michael Cantor. So we'll credit him. He's claiming Bregman has made his decision. He is going to sign with the Cubs. I don't know if there's any truth because we've heard that he was going to sign with the Tigers. We've heard all this crap. The Astros were back in the mix, and they're out of it now. And the Red Sox were in the mix. Now they're out of it now. It's just
I read an article before the show because I kept looking for this Cubs thing you were talking about, minus that one article you sent me.
Yeah.
The one I read, it came out like an hour or so ago, said that Stros are out. Their offer's still on the table, but they're not pushing it anymore.
Okay.
Red Sox are out.
Okay.
And
I think they're in on Arenado, whoever they say his name.
So yeah, we're going to talk about him too.
Okay.
So it comes down to the Tigers and Cubs, and this article is saying that the Tigers are in the driver's seat now because we're offering 5 years, and the Cubs were only offering like 3 to 4 years.
Oh wow. Okay. For Bregman.
For Bregman.
Wow. Okay.
For Bregman.
So
I don't know what's going on.
So
make up your mind, man. Let's go.
So the Astros are at 6 and 156. So that's less than $30 million a year. So then are the Tigers?
I heard last.
Are they offering 5 at
180?
5 at 180?
That is the latest rumor I heard. Again, these are all rumors because I think our original was 5 at 165.
Okay.
Last I heard was they went to 180.
Okay. Wow.
5 years, 180, and I think there's some options in there. I don't remember which way the options flow. I think it was
some opt-outs.
I think it was an opt-out after year 1 for Bregman, and then I think we were opt-outs after like year 4.
The thing with the opt-outs with him that it does not make any sense is like, why would you like, because those are player exercise, the opt-outs, right? Like, okay, another year for him, he's going to opt out and then go back to the market. Like, nobody's going to give him any more money. His value is going to be the highest it is right now.
And he's only going to be a good player for 3 to 4 more years.
Right.
Right.
He went down a little bit last year. His stats were not as good as the previous years.
His walk rate dropped almost 50%.
A lot. Yes. Yeah. That's I mean, somebody was trying to like explain it to like, okay, he was in a contract year. He's trying to smash the hell out of the ball. Maybe. But like, I don't know if he's that type of player, but
no, but it's also Houston is a hitter friendly park
for a right-handed batter.
So that's the other thing we have to consider, but I don't think we should take away. Yeah. His power is going to drop here. Yeah. Okay. You're talking, what is it? 363 to, because he's a right-handed batter.
It's a big outfield. Yeah.
Yeah. So left field's, I think, like 363, give or take a couple feet.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can get more doubles, I'm fine with that.
Well, also too, if he's a Gold Glove caliber third baseman, like, you know, you'll take maybe this slight decline in offensive production, but I think the key is he's got to get on base.
But I don't think it's going to be a decline as far as like necessarily like OPS or on base percentage. I think his home runs is just drop. His power is going to drop.
Maybe
those fly balls that are home runs in Houston are going to be flyouts in Detroit.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to look at the numbers, how he's performed in Comerica. It's a very small sample size. He's played 21 games there. He's hit 227, 281 on base, and 421 slugging. That's not enough. You know,
21 at bats is nothing.
That's nothing.
That's all he has at Comerica.
Yeah. I was surprised by that.
And we play him every year.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's only 21 games. I don't know if there's been some injuries or what in the middle of that, but
yeah, you can't do anything off 21 games.
Right.
I mean, not when these guys get 500 plus at bats a year.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
But I want him. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Tigers need to go get him. He also needs to make up his mind. He's crazy for wanting 6 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think you're going to get it. What's going to end up happening to him is sign the 5-year contract, leave here after 4 years, do the whole 5 years, and then you'll turn into one of these guys like like a Paul Goldschmidt or whatever, where you're just going to bounce around your last couple of years signing 1-year contracts, right? And that's fine because you still might be good. I don't want to get stuck with another Miguel Cabrera contract and Javi Baez contract where you're so good and all of a sudden now you're just on the tail end and we're upside down on your contract.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, he's going to be 31 this year, so it's a huge risk. But
I mean, they say your athletic prime is like 28 to 32, right? So you're asking for a 7-year deal. You only got 1 year left in your prime.
That's the problem with baseball and free agency. It's just like, and I think it's. I mean, unfortunately, we got really screwed with Baez. But I think when they signed Baez, you're kind of looking at it like, all right, he's going to produce for us for the first couple of years, and then on the back end of that deal, like, okay, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, just like it was with Miggy.
Yeah,
and then you're kind of thinking the same thing with Bregman and all these baseball free agents. Like, you're hoping to get the production out of them in the early years of the contract to where you can win, and then the back half of that, you're like, okay, well, it is what it is, and we're going to have to suck it up,
just survive.
But we still have that World Series championship from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that's how baseball free agency works.
A ring will completely negate your last 2 years of not playing well.
For sure. And I think that's why the Miguel Cabrera one still stings with a lot of people, is because we were very close, but never got it done. Yeah. So, yeah, I still want him to. I mean, I was looking it up. He will improve the Tigers' playoff chances by like, I think it's like 13% or something like that. Yeah. So, and I like it because then that moves Jace Young back to second, where I think he's more suited. Colt Keith is at first. And then, Torres will be at second too, kind of like platoon with Young. And then you have Sweeney and Baez. I know, you know what? I'm going to try and be somewhat positive with Baez.
Okay. I'm going to say the same thing I said last year about Baez. God damn it.
Get him off my team.
Okay. All right. If he's going to be here, this is what I said last year. I just don't want to hear about him. Or like, I want him to just
do his work,
do his job, right? Just come in. Like last year, he was on the brink of breaking the record of the worst, OPS in baseball history.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. I don't want to hear about you. Just come out if you hit 250, 240, right? Decent opiate. Like if you just come out where like you're not bad, you're not good. I don't want to talk about you.
Right.
But if we have another season where he's just awful, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
I know. Dude, I believe me. I know what you mean. The only thing is like I'm trying to be like, if we have to accept him on the team, I'm trying to look at it like, okay, he had the hip issue, and the thing like hips are like that's hard to kind of come back from, especially
and that's where all your power comes from in baseball. I get it.
And he's a shortstop, and hopefully, I mean, maybe they figured it out. He's healthy, and then also too, like he's never played on this team, like been a part of this team as a winner. Like they're a winning team now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's funny that they turned it around as soon as he was done.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that he's going to be like pushed into a team that he doesn't have to do everything, like he's got Riley Green and Skubal, and Colt Keith is coming on, and Parker Meadows. Like all these guys are coming on. Like Baez, you're not the dude anymore. You know what I mean? You're not the dude. Just go out there and play good defense, and you're going to hit against left-handed pitchers. Like you're not going to see right-handed pitchers anymore. Like just deal with it. And then Sweeney will come in for the right-handers. So
he was so good when he was in New York. And
he was
Chicago.
A fun player to watch. Yeah.
He was fun, and he was a good player. So when you got him, you're like, okay, and then it just kind of hasn't done anything.
Like clicked with him. Where he's just like, I got to hit the shit out of the ball, and I just got to swing at everything.
Dude, I'm hoping like best case scenario is he just got the yips,
maybe,
and maybe he's over him now, and now he can come back and
a little bit more
do his thing. Right? I mean.
He was a great player. He was a great player at one point. I mean, he's not that old. I mean, was he 32? I don't think 31, 32.
I mean, I hate on him a lot, but if he can come back and revive his career with us, then I'll come. We have no choice but to accept him. I mean, he's here
for sure. The guy like he has a good rapport with the kids in the clubhouse. It seems like I was kind of surprised by that. I just kind of figured he would be kind of this cocky, and maybe people didn't like him, but they seem to like him. And let's say the Lions still got my brain. I'm still jacked up from that. But let's say maybe the Tigers do sign Bregman, and then you have Baez. Maybe those guys are kind of the vets, the leaders. Maybe they can kind of bond together a little bit and play well together. But I mean, maybe that's why Bregman's not signing. Maybe he doesn't like Baez. I don't know. I'm just
who knows? Yeah.
I just the Bregman thing. Back to that real quick. Like it surprises me that he has not signed yet. Like I'm really surprised by that.
I think he's from everything I keep reading. I wonder how much is him and how much is Scott Boras, his agent.
I think that's what it is.
I think Boras has gotten in over his head by coming out right. We want long term 6-7 years and. I mean, what are you going to do if not if Bregman is a good ball player and you're down to 2 teams that want him? You're telling me there's no other teams that would want an all-star, gold glove, third baseman? Mm-hmm. But as soon as you hear 6-7 years, teams just started dropping off the map.
Because he's not that caliber player. And I think these Ohtani deals and then the
Juan Soto.
Yes, the Juan Soto deal. Like
15-year contract.
Just like overinflates the market and it's just – yeah, it's not right.
But as a player, like, what are you thinking? Like, okay, I want 6. I understand. Back in November, he comes out. I want 6-7 years. Okay, no problem. I'm not hating on you for it. You're in February. You have 2 teams that are bidding after you, and now one of them is offering you 7 years. Like, when do you step like back and say, wow, okay, the market is telling me I'm not a 7-year contract type of player. Like, how can you still come out and say, no, I want 6 or 7 years.
And what if
nobody's getting? There's only 2 teams.
Yeah, and then what if he ends up signing for like 4 years? It's just going to make everybody look bad.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is Scott Boras.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It is.
I think,
and he from the last few years, I don't think he's done as well as he is as he used to as far as getting these guys.
No, I think he's asking for too much. He's getting some of these contracts signed, right? Like I think he's Juan Soto's agent, isn't he?
Probably he's
everybody's agent.
But, he's getting agent too.
Yeah, he's getting some big contracts signed. But I mean, dude, you also got to sit down and be like, all right, man, I don't think we're gonna get 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years sounds pretty good.
Especially if you're playing for a contender. Like the Tigers are primed to
Exactly.
To be in this for a while. Like they got.
It's not like the White Sox are like, hey, we're offering 7.
Yeah, they'd have to pay somebody like 10 years for $50 million.
I'll give you $50 million for 7 years. You want to go? Then it'd be like, all right, I guess I can go be on a bad team for the rest of my career.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the holdup is, and hopefully
we find out here in the next couple of days, because
I would think so, because of spring training, like we said, is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so let's talk about the AL Central then. All right, Bregman's not here yet, so we can't include him. What are you thinking? You thinking?
As far as it's funny. I was looking at the odds for who's projected to win the AL Central, and actually most outlets have the Twins as the favorites, which is interesting because they haven't really done much this offseason.
I thought the Indians would be Guardians would be right back in there.
And the Tigers are like, I think the Twins were like plus 230, and then the Tigers are like plus 240 or.
Are we ahead of? Is it Twins Tigers?
Yes,
Twins,
and then
Tigers, Guardians.
Yeah,
Royals, White Sox.
Yes, exactly.
That's Twins are surprising.
Yeah. I was surprised by that too, but
So without Bregman, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. With Bregman, that would have to put us to, or even. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Sorry, not to backtrack. So you mentioned Arenado. So I read that the backup plan, if we don't get Bregman, is for the Tigers to go after Arenado for a third baseman.
Okay,
I'm not mad at.
Well, let me ask you,
which I'm also surprised he hasn't signed either.
I know you're more in tune with like baseball outside of the Tigers organization. Give us some insight into him if we were able to get him. Like compare him to Bregman or like how he would fit on this team. Like, what do you think? If that's truly what the Tigers' backup plan is?
I've always loved Arenado, especially when he was in Colorado.
Okay.
He's a little older now, so he's not going to be asking for a long-term contract like that. Gold Glove.
Okay. All right.
Solid. He's
a true third baseman.
He's a true third baseman. Okay. And if I was to compare him right off the get to somebody at third baseman, not including the bat or anything, I'm comparing him to Chipper Jones.
Okay.
Who was one of my favorite third basemen.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a little flashy, but it's not like Baez flashy.
Okay.
Right? He's just a good, solid third baseman.
Okay.
Again, he's a little bit older. He does have a good bat as well, too.
Okay.
I think our Arenado would do great for our team. Now, I do think if you're comparing him to Bregman is a step better.
Yeah.
But this isn't a no-name player that's coming to your team.
Okay.
I would be thrilled if Arenado came here. A lot of that is just like me as being a fan of him. I mean, I grew up playing third base. So like third base is my favorite position. So I love all these third basemen, right? So Bregman, right? Arenado, and then going back to like Chipper, Cal Ripken, all those guys, right? So I follow a lot of those guys' career just because they play that position.
Okay.
And I don't have Arenado's stats in front of me or not, but solid third baseman. I think we would be still in the spot that we're in, a better spot if we were able to sign him.
I'm going to look him up really quick.
Yeah. But back to the whole AL Central, I do think the Tigers need to be challenging for the division.
Yeah, he's 33. Okay, yeah, he had a good year last year.
Yeah. He's a solid. What was his OPS last year?
OPS was 719. So you kind of look. I mean, That's not bad. On base was 325. Batting average 272. He hit 16 home runs and he had 71. He had 23 doubles, 44 walks, 92 strikeouts.
That's not
3.4 WAR. I mean, like, so he's a plus player.
He's a plus player.
Yeah,
but I don't think the difference between Arenado and Bregman. We want Bregman for his bat.
Yeah,
and glove.
Mm-hmm.
Arenado we're getting for his glove. I mean, we don't have a third baseman.
No, we don't.
So even if we take a hit, I mean, those numbers aren't horrible for batting. I take that.
Yeah, no, it's
an
upgrade.
We're getting a Gold Glove caliber player.
You're upgrading your team.
You're upgrading your team. And we have no third baseman.
So what's his status? Is he a free agent?
I believe no. We'd have to trade for him.
We'd have to trade. Okay.
Yeah, but I think he wants out of St. Louis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. You wonder. Okay, so if the Bregman thing doesn't work out, like how do they how do they work out a deal with that? And if this Bregman thing doesn't work out, then I'm just kind of
he's due $21 million next year.
Okay.
And he's under contract till 2028, but he wants out.
He wants to be traded. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, God, I don't know. Could you work out something where you give up?
So we would have to trade.
Okay. So I don't know what you trade. Like baseball's a little bit different. I know the Tigers are secretly trying to ship Torque out. I mean, I don't know if you could work
Torque.
out something like that.
Yeah, Torque, trade him. Let's just. I think it's time we call it quit. He might be one of those players that just needs a new
fresh scenery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
New scenery, fresh start on a different team.
I'm trying to figure out like how this season works with him, because if you're moving Colt Keith to first base, and then like, okay, then what are they going to platoon these guys? Like, no, Colt Keith needs to play. He needs to play like 90% of the time.
So who's our DH? Who's going to be our
Carey?
DH?
Unless they.
But Carey's going to. This is the thing. Carey only hits against what? Lefties, righties. I don't remember.
What's
either way? Doesn't matter what it is. Whether
he's a left-handed bat.
I think he needs to get. He should be brought in.
Okay, so Torque's a right-handed batter. Carey's a left-handed batter. Okay, so you put.
So you're
gonna platoon them between. He's gonna DH.
Carpenter's gonna be in the field when he's.
Okay.
Probably when it's a left-handed pitcher, and then he's going to DH when it's a right-handed. I don't know. They're going to work. I think Kerry Carpenter needs more playing time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to be maybe not every day, but and that's my boy. I love Kerry Carpenter.
Kerry Bonds, right?
Kerry Bonds, yeah.
I still got visuals of that. I have him blasting that one into the.
Oh my God!
Against Class A,
so awesome.
That was awesome. That was a really cool moment. Probably if not. And I know them beating the Astros in the first round is probably overall the better moment. But like that, as far as the season goes, that might be the top Tigers moment. That was amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
That was amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
it's exciting to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I do expect Tigers to make the playoffs. I think we will challenge for the Central.
We should absolutely challenge for the Central, and I'll be disappointed if they don't win it. But. You know, baseball is baseball. Like you just got to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, we snuck in last year, got hot at the end, and then we knocked off the what are the Astros in the AL West?
Yeah.
Knocked them off. So I mean, it's
good.
Never know.
It's good.
Never know.
But I'm happy that now we're back also talking baseball every week here. I mean,
yes.
This is it. Baseball is going to be a subject every week. We're winding down on football. Obviously, football is a year-long thing. There's really no
shut off,
right? We might get a week or two or a month after the Super Bowl because teams can't do anything until a certain date, anyways, as far as free agents and signing and trades and all that. So we'll wind down from football and then we'll get right back in it because then you got the draft, blah blah blah, all that. But there are some rumors already getting started with the NFL as we transition here from baseball to the NFL.
Yeah.
So let's just talk on these for a minute. Obviously, this is the time of year we get to have fun. Right?
Yeah.
Who we getting rid of? Who we bringing in? We may get these players. We may not. This could change in a week. That never mind.
Who's
we're not
leaving,
trading.
Who's going? Who's yeah.
Yeah. So two names that we want to talk about.
Yep. And I think everybody knows Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
And
so who do you want to talk about first?
Let's get into this. Let's get into the Cooper Kupp thing first because I don't think that's going to require a lot. If you're good with that?
Yeah. Let's go. Because
And I know that for some reason, and I don't even know if the Lions are secretly involved, but the media has linked the Lions to Cooper Kupp, and I think it's just because the Jared Goff Cooper Kupp connection early on in their careers, and then obviously the Rams and Lions have a connection because of all the you know what I mean, all the shit that's happened with them. But the Lions seem to be linked to that, and when I first saw that, I was like to me, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to make a deal for him. No, it doesn't. He's 32. He's a great player. I will say.
And he had a career season last year.
Well, last year,
or was it
in 2021? He had 1,900 and something yards. Yeah, and ever since then, he has not played more than 12 games.
He was injured last year.
He's been injured the last 3 years. He hasn't played more than 12 games since 2021. I will say though, I do really like him, but. You know, he's a 30, I don't know.
And he's expensive.
He's due to make $20 million this year, and his cap hit is actually like almost 30 because of signing bonuses and restructuring.
Yeah. And we Lions have $46 million to work with.
Yes.
That's a lot, especially, and we'll get into Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett, he's up there in the 20s too that he's due next year.
Yeah, he's got a cap hit of $20 million next year too.
So technically right now, the Lions can't even afford both of them.
Right. Yeah.
You're at $49 million.
It's going to be one or the other.
I mean, I know you trade, you cut, you restructure. Yeah. I get all that. And then that's where I really started to get lost. I was trying to do some homework on the NFL cap and how we can afford both these players plus pick up some. I'm like, I was getting a headache because there's what the players get, and then there's their cap, and then there's a cap hit.
Okay.
And it can be different.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then their signing bonuses come in, and then it's all not guaranteed. And I was like, I can't that's why we pay these people lots of money to figure out these cap. But anyways.
Yeah. It just with like Cooper Kupp, when I saw it originally, I'm like, okay, so they're going to probably, who does he replace? I'm like, they're going to work out a deal with J-Mo, get rid of J-Mo, or like, is he going to take over Tim Patrick's spot? But like, it just doesn't seem to fit. And then you're going to pay him all this money for somebody who doesn't play more than 12 games a season.
I agree. I'm right there with you. He'd be nice to have on the team.
I like him. He's a great
I think
receiver.
Him and J-Mo would have to split the number two slot. You can't bring in a guy that you're going to pay $20 million plus a year and put him in a number 3 hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So yes, he would be replacing Tim Patrick on paper, but him and J-Mo, I think he's just too expensive to come here.
No,
And here's the other thing that I was looking at. So between St. Brown, J-Mo, and Cooper Kupp, they're all small. 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", I was looking at. Tim Patrick is 6'5", like 220. I think we need a big receiver. Now, we're not going to get a DK Metcalf. We're not going to get a Calvin Johnson. But Tim Patrick was like almost a perfect fit for a number 3. Big-bodied receiver, right? While you got fast J-Mo and fast St. Brown, right? More little guys. And I say little. They're still in 6 foot, but little compared to the other guys, right? I think having those 3 guys, we'll have the speed on the field, but I think we need a guy that can go up and catch the ball.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point, because I thought the weak point with the Lions last year, and I don't even know if this is something they need to like strive to be, but the one thing they struggle with was their deep ball, and it was because like anytime they went deep, who were they going to? J-Mo. And he was not a deep ball receiver. Like, you watch him, the ball would get up in the air and he's like doing this.
Yeah.
He would lose the ball and then it's getting picked off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? J-Mo was good when you keep the ball short and then he can find a lane to run through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those short catches. I still like J-Mo a lot. I thought he actually improved quite a bit last year, but
he did.
He disappointed me as far as being that deep threat. I mean, obviously if he just burns you and Goff hits him, that's fine. But like going up and challenging, he's nowhere near like guy from Washington, McLaurin. Literally he's 50-50, or Calvin. It just, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if the Lions really want to strive to be that downfield threat, which I don't think they should be. I don't think they need to be. Then you're going to need a guy to do that. And none of these guys are of that caliber.
No. And the other thing that I was thinking about with Kupp is I think we need to really look for a future. We need to pick up a wide receiver in the draft. I think it's time to start looking for, no one's going to like this, J-Mo's replacement.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think the Lions are going to re-sign J-Mo. I think they'll pick up his fifth year in his contract, because why not keep him here? But I don't think he's going to be a part of this team for multiple reasons that I don't think it's time to get into all of them. I just don't think he's going to be part of this team in the future. So is it smart to bring on Kupp, who is super expensive, and he only has 2 years left on his contract? That'd be the same as J-Mo. So now they're both gone. Now you have nobody.
Yeah.
I think keep J-Mo. I'd pass on Kupp. To me, he's too expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how you work all these guys in.
Yeah. Kupp seems to like fit maybe like a Steelers situation, or, because Kupp is a possession receiver. He runs great routes. But he's kind of like Amon-Ra in a sense that, like, if you throw him a ball in the vicinity, he is going to go get it, and he's going to make difficult catches.
That's what I'm saying. So we're going to have 3 of the same receivers?
Yeah, it's just
all short slot type. I mean, yes, once they get the ball, they're gone, and they can find a hole. Just because you're a slot receiver doesn't mean you can't have a 75-yard play. We've seen it happen multiple times last year.
Yeah.
but are we going to have all the same type of receivers? I just don't see Kupp fitting our team.
It just doesn't make any sense. And if they're going to burn any resources, like this team needs to like shore up some resources for their defense. Like obviously the defensive line still needs to be addressed.
Let me ask you this. They want Kupp if they're like Goff's like, I need my boy. I got to get him here. Now, and I don't know how this will work out, but I'm just going to ask you straight up, J-Mo for Kupp trade. Would you do it?
No,
straight up
because of the money.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just because
J-Mo's so cheap. He's only due like $2 million next year.
Nope. I'm good. J-Mo wasn't hurt last year, right? I mean, besides his suspension, he played pretty much every game. He didn't get hurt. He was pretty durable. Questionable things here and there, but I
wouldn't hate bringing Tim Patrick
unless
back.
the Rams are going to pay some of his salary.
Yeah, if we could work out where they pay some of it, but I wouldn't mind bringing Patrick back. I know he's a free agent.
He made. I was impressed with him last year. Made some big catches.
He's a good number 3 receiver, and he's a big guy. What I think we need on this team.
Yep.
But I also still think even if he came back, even if you brought Kupp in, right, whatever, go get somebody in the draft. Maybe you can find another St. Brown type player in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that we can have work behind these guys for the next couple of years. So because we all know these contracts are going to come up, and I'm not trying to talk too much about the 2027, 2028 season, but it's going to happen.
What year is J-Mo in? Is this going to be his 3rd year?
It's his 4th year.
This is going to be his 4th year already?
4th year. So at the end of this year, the Lions have to decide if they pick up his 5th year option.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So
that's crazy to think because he has not played a lot of football for us, like relatively speaking.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe. I mean, I guess Amon-Ra's coming into his 5th year.
Yeah.
Nate Sewell's coming into his 5th year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay. No, when you said drafting a receiver, and I was kind of like, it just seems like a pretty soon. But when you think about it, they might want to like maybe later.
And that's what I said. Look, get somebody in between the 3rd and 5th round,
maybe.
Right? Somebody that can learn behind these guys, and maybe find another diamond in the rough like you did St. Brown.
Maybe, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. But,
All right. Yeah. I think we're kind of on board with that in a sense. We like him as a. I like him as a player.
I just I don't think we need him.
It doesn't make any sense, and it's interesting to hear that him getting immediately attached to the Lions, and you wonder how many like when the media does that, like
how
are they doing it? Like are they literally just throwing like pickles against the wall and or
the Lions might be like what why would and who are you going to have to give up for Kupp because you got to trade for him.
Exactly, because he's under contract. Yeah, exactly.
So,
but, all right, well, let's move on to Myles Garrett. I know this is a big deal in everybody's brains, and especially around here.
I've been listening to people, and I have a very strong opinion. Fucking get him. I don't give up all of our fucking draft picks. Give the Browns whatever they want. But you want Garrett and Hutch next to each other? Are you out of your mind? You make the entire defense better. You can't double team Garrett because you got Hutch. You can't double team Hutch because you got Garrett. And then you got McNeil coming up your ass.
And you got DJ Reader,
and then you got DJ Reader. Not only that, our D-backs all won't have to cover for as long.
No.
The linebackers, are you kidding me?
No,
I'm not saying we're going to get him, but fuck them picks. Go get him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is, like, the best part about our defense the last couple of years has been our safeties, our defense, our safeties.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. I mean, it's nice to have like all pro level safeties and Branch and Kirby Joseph, but that's also not a good thing because that means your defensive line isn't stepping up. Like, and that's where the unbalance has been on this team.
So imagine Joseph and Branch being all pros when they don't have to cover as long. Imagine Carlton Davis not having to chase the guy all the way down the field for 5, 6, 7 seconds because our line can't get to him.
Right.
This makes everybody instantly better on the defense.
And, the Lions still have Za'Darius for another year, and I like him as a rotational piece, what I mean, with him and Garrett and Hutch.
Throw him in. Yeah, 1st, 2nd, 3rd round pick. And throw in Za'Darius. I don't care. He's a generational player. I hear
give him back to the Browns.
Give him back. Take him back. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hear so many people on the radio or just at work or out in public just like, oh, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah.
As you can tell, I'm fired up about this.
Well, the Lions and Lions fans have not been in this position. And it's really interesting to think that they are in this position. But I do, and it's hard to speculate ahead because you don't know who the Lions are thinking as far as who they're going to sign, coming up here. I know Kirby Joseph is due, Branch, you got Laporta, Gibbs. Well, Gibbs, I hate to break it. Gibbs probably, there's a good chance, he might not get re-signed because of, it's just, you don't pay running backs. You just draft them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love Gibbs.
Love him. I love J-Mo, but I don't see him on our team in the future.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think with Myles Garrett, I think he's only got 2 years left on his deal. Okay?
Which it's perfect for us. Get him for 2 years, and then you can let him go after that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to probably want to make sure he's getting re-signed if he gets drafted. It's probably going to be part of it, but I mean, maybe not as well. Maybe he's just like, okay, well, if I get in the right situation, I'll agree to it. Blah blah blah. The one thing that I think is super funny is that this would be a typical Browns thing to do. Like they had an opportunity to trade him mid-season, and the value for him was never higher. Now you're going to trade him in the offseason, and you probably lost a first-round pick.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least a second or third-round pick in the deal. And it's just now their hands are tied. What are they going to just hope that he eventually agrees to come back because they couldn't work out a deal? But I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't get dealt because it's kind of sticky for them. Because they're paying Deshaun Watson all this money, and they've got some major cap issues.
And the Browns have the control of not trading him.
Yes.
They don't have to do anything.
Yeah, they own him.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he doesn't have to show up, and they can just kind of it can be like that Le'Veon Bell situation where he just kind of it's the first person to play chicken. But I don't know if it'll get to that, but
I think the Browns need to rebuild because they're screwed. They screwed themselves with the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
they need to clear house and start over again.
Yep.
But
the Lions also too, if the Lions are going to go for it, they have the draft capital because they also have those 2 extra picks they got from Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
Those
but that's what I was saying. I'd give up this year's first, next year's first, and the Aaron Glenn third.
Okay, so you're looking at it from you're just going to give up draft capital.
If they want a player, who do you want?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because
who do you want?
All right, so out of let's say the Browns are like, no, we need a player in this deal because we want to rebuild, but we want the picks, but we still need a player. The Lions have a lot of young players. Okay.
I have 3 players that I'll give you.
You'd be willing to give up.
I have 3 players. Now,
okay. All right, but I also want to preface this with this. So the Browns want, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, the Browns want a player, a first-round pick, and then maybe a third-round pick. One of those Glenn picks. All right.
I have no problem with the first and third.
Okay. And then a player. What player are you going to give up in that?
So the first one that came to mind was Montgomery. But that won't work because Cleveland doesn't need a running back.
No. Yeah.
They got Chubb.
He's going to be 28. He's older. Yeah.
Yeah. That's out of the question. They're not going to take that. You can have J-Mo.
Jameson Williams.
You can have him, and I'll give you Jack Campbell.
So you'd give up both of them?
No, not both. You get one, but I would be willing to get rid of any of those 3.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm not giving you J-Mo Campbell.
Okay. All right.
And a first and third for Myles Garrett. No.
All right.
But I would be willing to give up one of those 2, 3. Like I said, Demo's out of the question because they just don't need him. But I would be willing to trade Demo.
Okay. Interesting.
J-Mo or Jack Campbell.
Okay. All right.
What do you think?
Well, let me say this. So for my non-negotiables, this deal is off. If you ask for St. Brown, if
you're out here, I'm a click. I'm just hanging up the phone.
If you're asking for Penei Sewell,
call off the phone.
Those 2 guys, and obviously Goff.
Who the hell are you going to get? I don't want Watson anywhere near her.
Right. And I'm 50-50 on Gibbs. I'm 50-50 on Gibbs just because he is so explosive and so good. And I think we have him for the next couple of years. He's going to help us win a championship. But if it came down to Gibbs, it's do or die with Gibbs, I think I would strongly consider it. Just because I feel like the offense can take a slight step back, but the defense takes a major step forward. You look at it last year, the Lions had the top ranked offense. Okay.
Yeah.
But our defense was, I can't remember the number. They were 20 to 26.
Yeah.
We're around there. Okay. Let's say the offense is still top 10. Okay. But the defense moves up into that close to top 10 category. I feel like you have a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't want to give up Gibbs.
I don't. I
would give up Laporta, Branch, or Joseph over. I would rather give up one of those 3 than Gibbs, J-Mo, or Jack Campbell. Absolutely. Take them.
Yeah. Gibbs.
I know.
So that's a tough one for me. I agree. We don't pay running backs.
Yes.
We don't pay a running back. But why he's here and affordable, he is our best option.
I know.
In that.
And you would have to replenish that if you gave up Gibbs. You would have to
because Demo can't be the every down.
You would have to replenish that somehow. That's an immediate.
I don't agree with the Gibbs this year.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's what I think. Which is kind of why I said J-Mo, you still kind of have control of his contract. He's cheap for the Browns. If you want to re-sign him, you can re-sign him. Jack Campbell. Personally, yeah, I could understand Branch, but that's my boy. So
I know, I get it. I love Branch.
I can't get rid of him.
I think Kirby Joseph could be I like Kirby Joseph a lot too. I really do. But I think he could be that centerpiece to help you get him because you're not giving up anything on offense. You are giving up a piece on your defense, but then you're supplementing it with a Hall of Fame player.
But it makes sense to right. Is if you bring in Garrett, everybody behind him gets better. So
for sure.
You do have the chance to get rid of a guy as a DB.
Yep.
Only because you're getting better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're just like the disruption rate or whatever they call that, like gets so much better with the Myles Garrett. And like Hutch was on, Hutch led the Lions in sacks last year. Yeah. He played with what? Like how many games did he play? He
went out
5 games?
Week 6 or 7.
Something like that, yeah.
He up until like week 9 or 10 or 11, he was still top 5 in sacks.
Yeah. He was having an defensive MVP caliber year.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to get him back. And I imagine he's going to come out with his freaking ass on fire.
Yeah.
He's going to come out and stuff. And then if you have a Myles Garrett on the other side, like, geez, I mean, good luck.
Okay, so let me ask you right now, gun to your head, do the Lions get Garrett? Yes or no?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Probably not.
They asked a bunch of general managers, like 10 general managers, what they think. The Athletic did this this article, what they think would be like, and they said the Lions first round pick, first round pick this year, first round pick next year, the Aaron Glenn pick, and Hendon Hooker. And I don't know why they keep saying Hendon Hooker. Like, is that just like a throw in? Like, I mean, the Browns probably should get away from Watson. Winston is not their quarterback. I mean, he fell apart.
I think he's a
great guy. He's fun to listen to on Mic'd Up. He's hilarious. I like him a lot, but he's just let's call it what it is. He's a career backup.
He has moments where he's flashy, but then he has moments where he just
falls apart.
He'll give you a multiple 4 interception games a year.
Yeah. But you can have Hooker. I don't care. Yeah. Any team could come get. I'll go trade Hooker for a 5th round pick right now. I don't care to any team.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I don't know. Offense to Hooker. I just when Goff went down for the 2 plays he went down in the playoffs, and you bring in Bridgewater, who was coaching high school 2 weeks ago, that just showed me Hooker's not our guy.
That didn't make any sense to me, and I don't know why Hooker's name keeps thrown up, because you listen to the radio too, his name will get brought up too, and it's just like I like Hendon Hooker a lot, and I watched him in college at Tennessee, and I think he's still kind of riding the high of them beating Alabama that one year.
Yeah,
but like I don't get it either. I really don't get it with that, and I do want to bring up. I'm going to kind of shift gears a little bit, because this thought popped in my head. The one thing I will say about the Myles Garrett thing is, as a Lions fan or a Lions like within the team, you do not want to see Myles Garrett to go to the Commanders. Nope. You don't want to see him go to the Bears.
Nope.
You don't want to see him the AFC side if he goes to the Bills or something like that too. But I don't think the Browns are going to be very interested in trading him to an AFC team. So they're going to try and push him to the NFC team. And an NFC team that's going to go out and get him is obviously he's got to be a contender. So it's going to be like the Commanders. It's going to be the Bears. It's going to be the Pack. And you do not want to see him go to those teams.
And the Bears right now are going to have the best offer on the table, because they can give up their number 10 pick.
Yeah.
They could give up their number 10 pick. They could give up, I think they have, I don't know if they have another, I think it's 10 and like 40. Yeah. So like they got
in
10
this year's draft.
Yeah. 10, 40.
So you give up this year's first and second.
Probably next year's first.
Right. Which their second round pick is almost like a first round pick, because it's
so close. So they're right away they have, but Are they contenders? We don't know. We don't know what Ben Johnson's going to do yet, right? So you're kind of up in there. Garrett wants to go to a contender. And
Does he have say? Does he have this? Like
that? I don't know if he's got
a
no trade clause.
Yeah.
But he only has 2 years left. Like, okay, is Chicago, like our window's open right now to like go get the damn thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chicago, after 2 years, are they going to sign Myles Garrett? And like, so I don't know. It's up in the air. But I think right now, today, the Bears put the best offer on the table.
Yeah. Well, that's
for the Browns, taking Myles Garrett's feelings out of it. The Browns are like, fuck, we can get a number 10 pick and whatever. What are they? They're already in the top 10, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, and think a couple years ago, a few years back, actually, the Bears did acquire Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And in his prime, he was 27. They gave up 2 firsts, a third, a sixth, and in return, they got Khalil Mack, and they also got a second and a 5th round back. But they gave up 2 firsts. And a third and a 6th.
I think that's what it's going to take from Myles Garrett is 2 firsts. And I'm fine.
Maybe.
You can have our picks. I'm fine with giving up the picks. I don't care.
Okay.
But
yeah, the Lions are in win. I agree. The Lions are win now mode. And if that's going to put you over the hump, then do it.
You do it. Yeah. So Sunday, some I guess there's a big game or something going on Sunday.
What, skiing?
Skiing, yeah.
Skiing championship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I think, curling is on this Sunday.
Sweet.
I think the most least anticipated Super Bowl of all times. We have the Eagles and Chiefs. How excited are you?
And I don't know if it's just this area, but it does seem like there's not a lot of like hype for this game, right? Am I not?
I think it's across the country. I think Philly and Kansas City are the only cities that are excited about this, and the Swifties. That is about it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think everybody else was kind of anticipating like a Lions Bills or like.
I saw this thing. They said there should be an undercard game for the Super Bowl of the Bills and Lions because that's what the whole country wanted to see to begin with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just go right to it. Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you want? Are they different? Are they the same?
Well, I feel like if the playing field is even. You know, and I think we all know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the Eagles to win this game.
Okay.
I like the Eagles to win this game. I just think they have an offense. You know, they're very dynamic offensively, especially running the ball. Defensively, they're very good.
Yeah.
I think that the Chiefs are. I think the Chiefs are beatable, even though I know they've won. They
are.
Yeah, but I still think they're beatable. And I think the Eagles are. I think they're motivated. So I am excited to watch the game in the sense that I'm hoping the Eagles do pull this off. I don't like the Eagles, but I like Hurts and Saquon. So I'm hoping those two guys.
I like the Eagles better than the Chiefs.
Me too. Yeah. It's crazy because I used to like Patrick Mahomes. I used to like the Chiefs a little bit, but this year
something happened with
this year flipped.
I was having a conversation with a guy at work the other day. Said the same thing. He's like, I was a huge Kelsey fan. I was a huge Mahomes fan. Love Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and all of a sudden, and I don't know if it's like the media that did it to us.
Maybe.
With how they just, shove the Chiefs down your throat with everything. And I'm not trying to blame Taylor Swift for anything, but, add that into the mix. Add all these ref things into the mix.
Yeah.
And, I think it's just everyone's just turning their back on. Because when you go back and you look at, when the Patriots were running their dynasty, yeah, everybody was like, they didn't like them as much, but nobody hated them as much as everybody already hates the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate.
And I get when you're good, you get hated, right?
Yeah.
No one's saying you suck. Obviously, you're been the best team out there the last 2 years, but yeah, this when people start to hate you. But
my thing was Mahomes when he flopped on the sideline, he even kind of admitted it. I can't get behind that. I can't be behind that type of shit.
I don't. Yeah.
He's still a fantastic player, and the Chiefs are a great team. There's nothing to take away from them.
No, they're good. Yeah, that you can't deny it. They're good.
What do you think? Who do you think's going to win? I am going to go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to. I think the Eagles are going to pull this off.
I want the Eagles to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the Chiefs. I think we're going to have our first three-peat.
Yeah. That's crazy that a team has never done that.
No.
With all the dynasties that there's been.
I know.
The Cowboys, the Steelers in the day.
The Patriots.
Yeah. Never a three-peat.
The Packers back in the day.
Yeah.
The Bears back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever done it.
Yep.
You hear about that thing with Pat Riley, the football coach, or not
Mm-mm.
football, the basketball coach, you know, for the Heat.
Yeah,
the Lakers.
yeah.
So he, back in the 80s, he trademarked the saying three-peat.
Oh, he did?
So when the Chiefs win and everything gets printed on the shirt,
He gets royalties.
He gets royalties. It did it. He got it with the Bulls when they did it.
Wow.
He got it with the Lakers when they did it.
Wow.
He got there's a couple other teams that three-peated in other sports.
Wow.
I was like, man, what a smart man.
Yeah, no shit.
I will say this. They did say he takes majority of the money, so I don't know what majority means, and donates it to a charity.
Okay, well, that's
so
good.
because I think off the last team, I think it was it the Lakers or the Bulls who did it? He made like $350,000 in royalty, and he gave majority of it to so smart move on his part.
Good for him.
So, but anyways, I want the Eagles to win. I don't know. I feel like the NFL just wants the Chiefs to win, and
oh, Lord have mercy.
But hopefully we can hope for a good game, and I'm hoping Saquon just goes off on them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. The Eagles are good enough to beat them, and I think
they are good enough to beat them.
Yeah.
I'm just more excited for the party.
For sure. Yep.
Gonna have a great party.
Yeah, you are going to have another great party as always.
So yeah, that's all I got for the Super. You could tell we're just not that excited.
Yeah, we're still hungover from a couple weeks ago when the Lions shit the bed. So it is what it is.
Well, we did talk about this. What some fun stuff we could talk about with the Super Bowl, a list or not. So we talked. What are some of your favorite Super Bowl moments? Whether it's a game, a certain moment through our lifetime.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good topic. Let me think. Do you want to just go back and forth? I give one, you give one? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the first one that comes to mind, and I think you might have this one too, was the Super Bowl. Which one was it? Was it 41?
Which one?
Detroit?
That was 40.
Oh, 40? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Super Bowl 40 from
41 is on my list, though.
Yeah. Jerome Bettis' last game. That was cool.
And that's on my list too. That was just cool because it was here in Detroit.
Yeah,
I remember being downtown for a lot of the festivities, and
it seemed like the area got a good report from it. Like it was just a good moment for the city, and that was cool. It's hard to believe that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So long ago.
Yep. So how about you?
So one of mine is I'm going back to my childhood. This is just is like pretty much all the Super Bowls in the 90s. I mean, for some reason as a kid, I was a Cowboys fan. I don't know, maybe it's because they were just
they were good. Yeah.
The Super Bowl. I love Troy Aikman. I always liked Aikman. But no, my dad and I would watch the Super Bowl every year. It was a tradition. He would make spaghetti, and we'd sit down and watch the game. And for some reason, I recorded all the Super Bowls when I was a kid. Well,
really?
I don't remember how many, but yeah,
wow.
VHS, record them.
Do you still have them?
Probably no. I mean, I don't. Maybe my parents saved them. I highly doubt it.
Okay.
So that was just a good memory that I have as a kid. Is just me and my dad always sitting down watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was always fun. What else you got?
I got the next one on my list, and like I will have to say a lot of these are just recency biased. Like
okay,
you know what I mean? Like I don't remember a lot of them from my early childhood. I did watch some of them, and then there was a period where I didn't watch sports at all.
Well, that's same with that. Like I don't remember plays or anything. I just remember that.
Yeah,
sitting down,
things that you remember,
turning on the Super Bowl, big old plate of spaghetti. Me and my dad.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a really good one. And next one on my list is the what is that Super Bowl LV? Was that 50?
40? No. 55.
55?
55.
Oh, God, I
got Roman numerals. Yeah.
That was
55.
I did,
which one was that one?
That was a Tom Brady with Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
I did enjoy that one just because I thought it was cool. I mean, I have an attachment to Florida, as everybody jokes with me. I have family down there. And
there's 48 other states,
I'm aware.
Right? There's Michigan, Florida, and there's all.
I'm aware, but there's tiki bars, there's beaches. It's.
Because I had no idea what happened.
Grouper sandwiches.
When we got to Arizona this year, he's like, what is this place? Where are we?
It's so flat and dry here. Shit. No, that was I did enjoy watching Tom Brady win with Tampa Bay. I thought that was really cool.
I've always been a Brady fan. I like Brady.
Yeah. And they beat the Chiefs.
Yes, they did.
So that was cool. And it was cool, actually. I went down to Florida right, like not long after that. And And I remember just they had these murals on the side of like the buildings that they called it Tampa Bay and a big Tom Brady mural. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So that was cool. That's a good one.
I got one that I like. I remember watching was the Greatest Show on Turf, the St. Louis Rams versus the Titans, the Super Bowl 34 in 2000 when the Titans just lost. The guy was stretching, got tackled at the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner got the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was just a fun game.
Yeah.
The end of that game was awesome. You don't get a lot of Super Bowls that end like that.
That was a great one. Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, that one, that like image is cemented in like football. Like that's crazy. Now the next one I have is Super Bowl. I think it's 39. It was the Patriots versus Eagles. That was Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, Tom Brady. That was just a great game. Like there was nothing really like. And I remember Terrell Owens that year. He blew out his I don't know, was it his ankle or his knee or something like that? And he came back for the Super Bowl and they just went off, but they ended up losing by 3. It was just a great game.
Yeah,
I remember watching that one, enjoying that one. So,
the other one I got, it's not really the game. I just thought it was one of the coolest openings to the Super Bowl was Super Bowl 41, the Colts and Bears. Peyton Manning got his first ring there, but Devin Hester opened up the game returning the kickoff for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
That's really all I remember from the game. I mean, obviously Peyton won.
Yeah.
I don't remember the final score. I think it was like 23-17, something like that. When I was looking
I
up.
think I think that's pretty close. Yeah.
But I just remember watching. I was like, oh my God, he's gone. And Devin Hester, remember, he was a threat anytime he was returning the ball to return it. So that was one.
Yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah, that was Manning's first Super Bowl. That was a cool one. I think Rex Grossman was the quarterback.
Yes.
The Bears back then.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, no, the one that sticks out for me too is actually it was the national anthem that Chris Stapleton did a few years back.
Is that last year or the year before?
It's LVII, whatever that is.
So Super Bowl 57.
Yes.
So that was 2 years ago.
Yep.
This year's 59.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was Chris Stapleton's national anthem. I just remember that. Like that gave me chills. So,
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, for sure.
The Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl 43. I remember this game. I was up north. See, this is before I started my Super Bowl parties.
Okay.
I was up north snowboarding.
Okay.
At
what resort?
Caberfay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, up in Cadillac Gaylord area over there. Watching the game in my room. Just a couple moments right before half, Steelers picked it up, like literally as time ran out in the half, picked it up, pick 6 against the Cardinals. And then that famous San Antonio Holmes toe tap with less than a minute in the game to win the Super Bowl, Steelers over Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's one that always sticks out to me.
Yeah.
That was just a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that's cool. Kurt Warner.
I know, Kurt Warner was in
like
that one.
A comeback.
And, 2 Kurt Warner Super Bowls on here.
Yeah. Get a little man crush.
And then you got any other ones?
No, I just got 4 more. Well, then if you got another one,
the other one was it's just kind of funny. The Pats' first Super Bowl win with Tom Brady. Vinatieri kicks it, literally kickstart the dynasty. That was against. I don't remember who that would get. I didn't write down their opponent, but that was Super Bowl 36. That started the Pats dynasty.
Okay.
And I was always liked Tom Brady, so and Vinatieri was a stud.
God, that would have been Brady's second year in the league, I think, maybe first.
Yeah, because it was 2000. I think it was 2002, 2001 season, 2002 Super Bowl.
Yep,
and
I think it was his second year in the league. That's crazy.
So those are my
Super Bowl moments.
Super Bowl. Those are the ones that popped in my head right away.
Some good ones.
Good ones, sure. All good ones.
Yep.
All right. Well,
you want to wrap it up?
We're gonna wrap it up with some Stud and Dud. Yep.
All right, why don't you give me your stud?
So this week I'm going to hand it out to the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham. He was elected to the NBA All-Star game.
Much deserving.
So hats off to you, stud. He's also having a hell of a season.
Stud.
Pistons are playing pretty well, but yeah, I figured I had to give him a little shout out for that accomplishment.
No, it's good to see him. There was a lot of hype with us getting that lottery pick and then him coming on. And
he's really stepped up too since Ivy went out for the rest of the season. Yeah. So hats off to him. He deserves it.
Yeah. No, it's good to see the Pistons playing well, and it seems like they're really it seems like they got some good leadership now finally, which has been missing. So that's a good one.
Who do you got?
It's actually funny because you did pick. We don't talk a lot of Pistons and we don't talk a lot of Wings, but I'm going to give it to Todd McClellan. 15-4-1 since taking over for the Wings. Yeah, stud. They were 13-17-4 when he took over, and now they're in the first wild card spot, and they're actually like a point behind being third in the division. So they're just it's just amazing to me, like how you can like fire a guy and then bring somebody in outside the organization
and like that, boom, just completely
right. And then and it just clicks out of like that. It's just that I know he's been a part of the Wings organization in the past, but it's been a while, and then just to bring him in out of nowhere and like it's clicking, it's clicking as well as it is. Like I just think that's amazing. So. We're looking forward to some Wings hockey too. Playoff hockey is awesome.
Oh, playoff hockey is a lot of fun. Yeah. No, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
Go Wings.
Go Wings. Yep.
All right. My dud. It's I don't know. I feel like it's got oxymoron, contradicting. Alex Bregman. Just because of the fact that he's, this whole thing came out. We already talked about it. I'm not going to get all back into it, but ask him for 7 years. No one's offering you 7 years. Make up your mind, whether it's Detroit or Chicago. Let's get this done. Yeah. This whole thing, the deals are on the table. And again, it might be, maybe it's Bregman / Scott Boras. I think
Boras could be somebody's dud every week.
Yeah. So, and that's it. Just because this whole thing today that really struck the chord. Yeah. With me was Bregman asking for 7 years and no one's,
Yeah.
But still want you here, Breg. And just, come on, man. Yeah. Just take the 5 years. Let's go.
Make a decision. Come on.
What do you got?
My dud is going to be the NBA. I can't keep up with these trades and where these stars are at anymore. Luka Doncic traded to the Lakers. Like, that's
like a behind closed door
out of nowhere.
Like
out of nowhere. And it's just you're kind of left scratching your head.
You know how many other teams would have been throwing everything to get him?
Yeah. And
that means LeBron was probably behind it. He's the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA.
Yeah, it's just obviously the Lakers being at the forefront of the NBA, you're just kind of like, okay, the ratings are down in the NBA, and then this happens. Okay, I get it. And then, it's funny. I saw a report that Kevin Durant was rumored to be, traded to the Warriors, and I'm kind of like scratching my head. I'm like, I thought he was on the Warriors still. I can't keep up, and I don't watch a lot of NBA. I don't watch hardly any at all. But it's just these guys move around so much. It just and they sign these max deals, and then they're still unhappy, and it's just the NBA is just turned into such a bad product. So that's my dud.
Well, that's it. You're here.
Yep.
That was a good episode.
Good one, man. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Everybody try to enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. We will. Big party. It'll be fun.
Yep.
Drinks, food. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. And if you're a Lions fan, just drink some more.
Yep.
Drink until one of these teams seem exciting.
And don't worry, baseball's back, baby. Baseball's back.
Yep.
It's all good.
We're going to have the Wings probably making the playoffs. We're going to have the Pistons hopefully making the playoffs. We're going to have the Tigers starting off some. So it's
we're going to have to start sprinkling those guys in as they as time comes up.
Spring's not that far away.
Exactly.
So there's reason for hope.
All right, good show, man.
Good for you. Good for you, man. Good. You did great. You did great.
All right, everybody.
I'm just joking.
We love you. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Go Detroit.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.